Hey everyone. In today's video, we're going to take a look at how to represent a set of numbers using both set notation and interval notation. So the first one we see here is set notation, which is used to represent a set of numbers using inequalities, and again, that's used to express all of the elements. Okay, so the variable we're focusing here is x, and you can see that we're using the inequalities to show our set of numbers. If we were to represent this on a number line, we'd have a open point at -3 based on our inequality having no equal to underneath. And then we'd have another point at a +3. Okay, this one a closed point based on the fact that we have a less than or equal to. And our x values are everything that is represented in between those 2 points. Okay, again, this is meant to show a continuous set where it's all those infinite numbers between -3 and +3. Okay, a couple more examples here. This one we see here is actually in our interval notation, which we'll talk about on the next slide. But if we were to write this in set notation, again, we have our list. We're talking about our x values. You can use a line or you can use 2 points like that to represent in your set notation. Okay, our leftmost point is going to be -1. Okay, now this is a regular bracket, so that means that it's going to be less than or equal to. And then I'll have my x values, which is going to be our actual values, and then an open or a regular parenthesis, which is going to be not equal to, and 10. All right, so again, this would be your interval notation, and now this is written in set notation. Okay, and underneath, represented on this number line here, we have, again, all of our x values, so I'm going to start with an x. This time I'll put a colon there to represent that. And then our leftmost point is -2. Okay, we have a closed point, so we're going to do less than or equal to x values. And then a less than sign because we have an open point here, and 5. So that's pretty much what we have to do with set notation. Now let's take a look at interval notation. Okay, so interval notation, now a little shorter, just replaces our inequalities with either a regular parenthesis or a bracket. Okay, we see an example of that here. We have -3 to 3, and we have a regular parenthesis, and we also have a bracket. Okay, so let's take a look at how to write these given either set or a number line. Okay, so here we have a set notation. Okay, so it's x and it's 0 to 3. So if I was to write this one using interval notation, it's going to be both regular brackets because they both have an equal to. So I have a bracket 0 to 3 and another bracket. Those again represent the same thing. And in B, we have a +1, but here we see that this is not an endpoint. That is going to go to -infinity. So our leftmost point is going to be -infinity. Okay, because we see that it continues past here and keeps going. And notice with the infinity, I did not use a bracket. Okay, whenever using -infinity or +infinity, we have to use a regular parenthesis because that represents more than just a single endpoint. And then on the right side, I have 4, and that one is going to be also a regular parenthesis because we have an open circle. Okay, so those are the two main ways to represent a set of numbers. We had both the set notation using the inequalities and the interval notation using the brackets or parentheses.